Good evening, I'm Andrew Chang.
And I'm Adrian Arsenault. Tonight, Canadian snowbirds are flocking south.
How long have you been in line here?
6 hours.
The U.S. land border reopens amid more pressure to do away with COVID test requirements.
The racist harassment of a 13-year-old girl from Ontario and why her mother is holding the school board responsible.
One of the boys targeted my child with an object and hurled some racial slurs.
Drake and rapper Travis Scott are sued over the deaths at a Houston festival.
I was literally praying and I was like, please get me out of here. Like, this is not how I want to go, please.
Why they're being accused of inciting a riot.
Plus, convincing Cape Breton to kick the coal habit.
Renewable energy is more economic, it's cheaper, it's cleaner.
An ambitious plan for sustainable energy in Eastern Canada. This is The National.
For 1 year, 7 months, and 2 weeks, the world's longest undefended land border was firmly shut to non-essential travel.
Well, today, with the COVID-19 situation improving on both sides, that border finally reopened. And not a moment too soon for Canadians desperate to see loved ones or just head south for the winter. Some border crossings saw long lineups even before the sun came up and stayed busy well into the day. Our Susanna De Silva shows us what it looked like across the country today and which safety protocols remain in place.
After 20 months of waiting, what's a few more hours?
Since 3 in the morning. I guess it's like 7 or 8 hours now.
How long have you been in line here?
6 hours.
In Ontario and Quebec, travelers, including many snowbirds, waited in long lines.
The sun, vacation, relaxing, seeing some friends and partying a little bit.
And the excitement wasn't just felt on land. Victoria provided an elaborate welcome to the ferry taking passengers to and from Washington State that has been docked since the borders closed.
Where are you going to?
Mexico! We're going to Arizona!
While the rush to get across was on at some crossings, others, like here at Peace Arch, saw only a trickle of traffic. And the reason, some say, is Canada's testing requirement to come home.
We will see significant uptick in economic activity, but we're still doing it with one hand tied behind our back.
Unlike air travelers, land crossers into the U.S. need only be fully vaccinated, no COVID test required. But to come back to Canada, a costly PCR test is still needed, done within 72 hours of their entry to Canada.
Cross into Detroit the very next day, be with 65,000 screaming fans, tailgate, have a great time, and then come back to Canada using the test that I received before I even went to the United States. How does that test help determine whether my activity was safe?
The Public Health Agency of Canada says it is reviewing the requirement. In the meantime, this Detroit company is capitalizing, offering a special price for same-day result PCR tests.
We had probably 25 cars in line before we opened up at 10 a.m. this morning, including some Canadians.
And despite any remaining challenges,
I've already been crying. It's just emotional to see these people being so happy to be able to now go and travel and have freedom.
There is some relief seeing the border reopen. Susanna De Silva, CBC News, Surrey.
There are some new developments about Friday's deadly crowd surge at the Astroworld Music Festival in Houston. Headliner and event founder Travis Scott now faces legal action, along with Canadian superstar and surprise performer Drake, both accused in one lawsuit of inciting a riot. Magda Gebrselassie has that story tonight.
I was literally praying and I was like, please get me out of here. Like, this is not how I want to go, please.
Amid terrifying accounts from those who were there, now Travis Scott and Drake, the two most prominent headliners from the Astroworld Festival, are being sued, with Scott, the founder of the festival, separately facing several suits, both from fans who attended and the family of a victim who died. In all, 8 people were killed and countless others were injured after a crowd surge ended in chaos.
Today is me. I lost my son. It could be you. It could be you.
This is Axel Acosta's father. The 21-year-old was the last victim to be identified. The family's lawyer says Acosta struggled to breathe in the crowd rush, eventually collapsing.
The air was literally slowly squeezed out of him, sending his heart into cardiac arrest.
The lawyer said Scott and others were negligent, that there was poor planning and not enough emergency and security personnel.
This was needless, it was unnecessary, and could have easily been prevented.
He also points to Scott's past, saying he encouraged fans to create chaos and bypass security barricades at previous performances, something that has gotten him into legal trouble before. Scott said he was devastated by what happened, and today he committed to paying for the victims' funerals, but he remains silent on the legal challenges that are now mounting against him. Magda Gebrselassie, CBC News, Washington.
We're hearing even more about what it was like inside Friday's deadly crowd surge at Astroworld. 19-year-old Diana Amira was in the thick of it. As she told our colleagues at CBC Radio's As It Happens tonight, she was so lucky to get out alive.
No one could hear me until one of the guys that was helping me stay above the crowd. He looked back and saw me on the ground. At that moment, I was starting to see stars. I felt myself getting lightheaded, and there was no room for me to faint. So I just went limp and put my head back because I knew I was going to pass out. And a random guy that I don't know stepped on my calf because my knees were bent and started climbing me to see a better view of Travis Scott. The last thing I remember was locking eyes with that guy who helped me. Next thing I remember is just being on top of the crowd getting carried out. And I actually want to backtrack. About 30 minutes before Travis Scott came on, people were dropping to the floor. I screamed, there's a girl on the ground, and I try everything in my power to bend down, and I lift up her head, like her head dropped back to the ground. She unfortunately did not make it. She was one of the victims.
That was Diana Amira, a 19-year-old concert goer, sharing her frightening story of Friday's deadly crowd surge at the Astroworld Festival in Houston.
Well, an Ontario mother is taking her local school board to court over alleged incidents of racism, bullying, and harassment that her 13-year-old daughter has had to face. Deanna Sumanek-Johnson guides us through the troubling allegations and why some say it's a systemic issue, and a warning for you. This story includes graphic content that some may find disturbing.
Earlier this fall, Natasha Shakespeare's 13-year-old daughter shared a note she got in school.
That was one that said, shut up, I'm going to rape you in the bathroom.
That note, and another one using a racist slur and goading the young girl to kill herself, were shared on Twitter by the advocacy group Shakespeare reached out to, Parents of Black Children.
Horrified, scared, shocked, upset, angry, furious, every emotion.
But she wasn't entirely surprised. She says her daughter has been subjected to racially motivated bullying for over a year now at 2 different schools. Despite her many conversations with administrators, Shakespeare says students who abused her daughter got away with inadequate punishment.
There was another incident where one of the boys that returned from the 2.5-week suspension targeted my child with an object and hurled some racial slurs.
Last March, she sued the Simcoe County District School Board. Among other things, she alleges the board failed to investigate the racism, verbal assaults, harassment, and/or bullying, and failed in its duty of care to protect the student.
Simcoe, York, Peel, Halton, Toronto, these are all hotspots where there's trouble, and I have cases as far away as Alberta. This is a widespread, systemic issue.
This professor of education says the persistence of cases like this suggests that anti-racism training for educators isn't doing what it's supposed to.
We have policies, but policies and data, for example, only go so far. We have to start thinking about how to make these policies go into action.
In a statement to CBC News, the Simcoe County District School Board said it is taking the incident seriously and conducting a thorough investigation with the support of an outside agency.
The police are also investigating, but while that's happening, Natasha Shakespeare's daughter is dealing with mental distress and staying at home as parents of black children continue to face what they call the other pandemic, the pandemic of racism. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
The personal information of tens of thousands of people may have been exposed after a cyber attack targeting Canada's largest public transit system. The Toronto Transit Commission says up to 25,000 of its current and former employees may have been affected. The agency learned about the attack over a week ago, and they're investigating. So hacking and ransomware attacks have kept police forces busy worldwide. 5 suspected hackers have been arrested following a global investigation with the help of the RCMP and Calgary Police. Authorities say some are allegedly behind thousands of cyber attacks worldwide, 600 of them in Canada.
Thousands of migrants from the Middle East and Asia are trapped at the border between Poland and Belarus after authorities in Belarus escorted them there and clashes broke out. Polish military video showed migrants trying to breach the fence and border forces responding with chemical spray.
Destruction of border infrastructure is forbidden. You will face criminal charges.
Belarus took video from its side, saying migrants are just exercising their right to seek asylum. Poland and Germany have accused Belarus of human trafficking, engineering this crisis as a way of pressuring the EU into removing sanctions.
No go to Poland. We all go to Germany. Germany is life. No Poland.
But there is now an estimated 3,000 to 4,000 people camped in a forested area on the Belarus side, including women and children, cold, desperate, and with nowhere to go.
At COP26 in Glasgow, all eyes were on Barack Obama. The former U.S. president singled out China as a barrier to the progress of the climate summit. But as Chris Brown shows us, some climate experts at that summit say Obama may not be entirely correct.
No longer a president, but still a celebrity, Barack Obama brought his considerable star power to Glasgow to give difficult climate discussions a push and to deliver a reprimand.
I have to confess, it was particularly discouraging to see the leaders of 2 of the world's largest emitters, China and Russia, decline to even attend the proceedings. And their national plans so far reflect what appears to be a dangerous lack of urgency.
China produces a quarter of the world's greenhouse gas emissions, and though pollution has improved, Beijing can still get smogged up. Its target date to hit net zero emissions is 2060, a decade later than most countries. On the streets of Beijing, many consider the issue important. I think the government has made a lot of effort, she says, such as restricting cars, reducing exhaust emissions, and refitting factories. I think it's done very well fighting climate change, she says. I'm living a good life now. Some even suggested President Xi Jinping should have attended the Glasgow summit. This is a matter for all of mankind. We should be putting forward constructive suggestions. China's president may not have come to Glasgow, but its top climate official is here and has been offering a strong defense of China's climate policies. Xie Zhenhua said the hard target of holding warming to 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels is unhelpful, and instead countries should strive to do as much as they can. American climate scientist Angel Xu says China's typical strategy is to be cautious with promises but over-deliver.
They plan to completely remove coal from their power system by 2050. They have to ramp up renewable electricity generation, increase nuclear, for example. So they have details in place that should allow them to reach that carbon neutrality goal before 2060.
Still, China did not join agreements on phasing out coal or slowing methane emissions, which has fueled the perception that the world's #2 economy needs to show more climate leadership. Chris Brown, CBC News, Glasgow.
Well, Indigenous groups and environmentalists say their voices are not being heard when it comes to a planned mining expansion in Nunavut. As Pauline Pemick reports, 3 years of hearings just wrapped up, and local leaders still have grave concerns about the project's impact on the local wildlife.
Dalodiub Imanga is Canada's largest marine conservation area, habitat to fish, seals, and narwhal. Baffinland Mining Company is here too, and now they're hoping to expand. But some residents say the financial benefits are not worth the loss. We live for a subsistence. It's our livelihood. Inuit culture or traditions are not for sale. The mine began operations in 2014. The corporation has about 1,200 employees, a quarter of them being Inuit. The company has proposed daycares and job training centers in the communities, but only if Phase 2 goes ahead.
We believe that this proposal can provide economic prosperity, and we've been able to demonstrate that through the proposal we can find a way to protect the environment.
But Inuit organizations and environmental groups say they already see the impacts of the damage the mine has done. Pond Inlet resident Anita Utuvak attended the hearings via satellite link. She feels her voice wasn't heard. When I finally had a chance to speak, I was cut off and wasn't able to finish, and the elders didn't even have a chance to talk. Nunavut's newly elected MP was denied entry. The Nunavut Impact Review Board told her it was because of COVID-19 protocols.
I'm really hoping that this brings to light how challenging it has been for Inuit and for Nunavut community members to voice their concerns.
Ultimately, the Minister of Northern Affairs Canada decides and approves whether or not the project goes ahead. And in response to the complaints about access and inclusion during the decision-making process, the Nunavut Impact Review Board did not respond to our requests. Pauline Pimek, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will soon return to Parliament with a strengthened minority government. The key word, though, remains minority. And despite recent rumors of a possible coalition deal with the NDP, both sides now say not so fast. David Cochrane digs into it.
The Liberal caucus is back in Ottawa and soon to be back in Parliament.
Our job is to deliver for people in a time of uncertainty and fatigue.
But facing questions as to how Parliament will work.
Look, I appreciate speculation, but that's not what we're in the business of.
That speculation of secret talks with the NDP, reports of a possible deal to work together to pass legislation and avoid an election for at least 2 years.
Should the government make a deal with the NDP to prolong your time?
Oh gosh, I'm not even going to get into that. But
why not?
Contrary to the rumor mill that is out there, just to let you know that there are no agreements of any sort.
Privately, Liberal and New Democrat sources insist there is no formal agreement. Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh have talked about working together, but sources from both parties say it's the normal talk of a minority parliament.
We're really excited about how we can fight for people.
What we clearly heard in the last elections is Canadians are really expecting us to make this work.
And so they meet separately, but express a willingness to work together.
If the NDP want to work with us, then we're always happy to.
I want this parliament to work. I want to implement some of the progressive policies.
A prospect the Conservatives say should worry Canadians.
This coalition will mean billions of dollars of new spending to buy just Jagmeet Singh's silence. But these talks fall well short of anything resembling a coalition government. Rather, they're about lining up support for a legislative agenda that includes paid federal sick leave, protecting healthcare workers from protesters, and making childcare more affordable. Issues the NDP should have no trouble supporting. David Cochrane, CBC News, Ottawa.
Well, a girl abducted in the United States saved by a simple secret hand gesture.
And I wonder how many people thought she was just waving at them.
Coming up, how one driver understood what it meant and the Canadian organization behind it.
Plus, honoring veterans often overlooked.
We fought together, we moved together. But when we come back, they seem to put us in the back seat.
Now the government is trying to make amends.
And some Canadians are sticking to coal.
When I have this on, I don't have to have the oil furnace on.
We'll show you how Nova Scotia is trying to clean up its act. We're back in 2.
Welcome back. They have a long and distinguished record serving in Canada's military, a history full of bravery and sacrifice. Today is Indigenous Veterans Day. And this morning, the flag on the Peace Tower was lowered to half-mast, a sign of respect that also recognizes the years of institutional racism many of them have faced. Olivia Stefanovich has that story.
A long lineage of service. Generations of Wendy Jocko's family have served in the Canadian military.
It gave them an opportunity to become equal citizens in Canada.
But when they came home, it was a different story. They were denied benefits given non-Indigenous veterans.
They were pretty well discarded.
Decades later, the contributions and sacrifices of more than 12,000 First Nations, Inuit, and Métis service members are being honored.
This one here is for Kuwait.
For Sergeant Brian Pitawanakwat, this is a day of pride, heavy with meaning.
It gives me a good feeling to understand that people recognize our efforts and just the guys who didn't come back.
We must never forget.
Federal politicians paid tribute at the National Monument for Indigenous Veterans.
We also want to acknowledge the injustice faced by Indigenous people.
While this day was created in 1994, it's taken years for it to gain prominence.
They served in disproportionate amounts, ready to lay down their lives.
As well as being a woman in the military, it was, quite a harsh environment.
Jocko dreamed of joining the military as a child, but when she got there, she faced discrimination from colleagues.
What if you had been drinking the night before and didn't show up to work? So I felt that was rather stereotypical.
Still, Jocko rose through the ranks and served overseas in Bosnia and Croatia.
It's important for Canadians to understand that we have some of the most decorated soldiers in Canada. They are Indigenous veterans.
Long overlooked, now taking their rightful place in Canadian history. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
Now, for most Canadians, Remembrance Day is a time for gratitude and reflection. But for many soldiers and veterans scarred by the trauma of war, it can be full of anxiety. And as Elizabeth McMillan shows us, it can be especially tough this year for those who served in Afghanistan.
Memories from a war zone and the painful reality of friends and colleagues lost. After his tour in Afghanistan, Brad LeBlanc didn't go to a cenotaph in Canada for years, preferring to reflect alone.
You can still smell the area, you can still feel the ground under your feet, even though you're back in Canada, and you can still hear the sounds of war. And it brings you back there in a way that's not welcome sometimes.
And there are others who feel the same way. Crowds can be difficult for those struggling with trauma. For some, it goes beyond that.
I know many veterans who will be preparing in October, to steel themselves for this period and then move on and kind of reorient themselves after November 11th to kind of come back.
Debbie Lowther runs a national organization that helps veterans in crisis. Calls are always up in the fall. And this year, some veterans say there is an added challenge: the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan and the Taliban retaking control.
It's definitely triggered people's mental health, and it's been disheartening, I think, for those who served, and now it seems like it's all been for nothing.
LeBlanc has been checking in on friends from his deployment. He leads a branch of a national group that aims to connect with veterans who are isolated.
Even amongst ourselves, when we're talking at a table, there's things we say to each other and there's things we keep inside. And a lot of the times, the things that we keep inside is what comes out during a ceremony.
LeBlanc says regardless of where people pause to remember or how they reflect, they don't have to be alone. Elizabeth McMillan, CBC News, Halifax.
Next on the National, we head to Canada's largest solar farm.
For this to be done in Alberta, the heart of oil country, I think this is really fantastic.
How much energy will it produce? Who's buying in?
In Nova Scotia, though, breaking away from coal is easier said than done. What the province is doing to go green, next. Well, as we focus on the stories of our changing climate, that often means covering changes we make here in Canada. Nova Scotia relies heavily on carbon-intensive coal for power, even heat. Tom Murphy looks at the effort to end that dependence and the obstacles that still stand in the way.
In Glace Bay, Nova Scotia, retired miners' families can still pick up a load of coal, truck it back to their house, and burn it for heat, just like Kay Handrahan has for decades.
Everybody comes in here, oh my God, the heat. But it's good heat.
Coal is a blast from the past here, a tough habit to break. Just ask Nova Scotia Power, long the operator of the most coal-intensive electricity grid in Canada. About 50% of its electricity still comes from coal-fired plants. Now, the provincial government has set a goal for the utility to go coal-free by 2030, get greener.
And we agree with that direction. But that's, doing it over an accelerated time frame to 2030 comes with cost.
And that cost is often the counter-argument. Still, the utility has made strides to become greener. With the new maritime link, clean hydro from Muskrat Falls in Labrador is beginning to flow to Nova Scotia. And wind turbines are increasingly generating clean electricity here.
We've seen that scientifically, that it's feasible, and it's also economically feasible.
Which environmentalists like Gurprasad Gurumurthy of the Ecology Action Centre argue is actually now cheaper than using coal.
The only trade-off people think is that if we move from coal to clean, then we'll be paying much more. But that's not true. We've seen that renewable energy is more economic, it's cheaper, it's cleaner, and it's more reliable as well as we go into the new 2020, 2030 decades. So therefore, it's actually something that we need to do.
But what happens when the wind doesn't blow? That's where something called the Atlantic Loop fits in, a proposal to also connect Nova Scotia through New Brunswick to Hydro-Quebec to access even more clean hydro as a backup.
So for that, we need to connect with New Brunswick, which connects with Hydro-Quebec, and get that clean hydropower. In the future, we also want to see that the months where wind is blowing too much, that we don't need that much. So for that, if we connect with New England states, that becomes the Atlantic Loop. We'll have a place to send it. And then we'll make good money off of it as well, which can be a model for the rest of Canada.
The Atlantic Loop will take big money to make it happen, $5 billion. Politicians of all stripes are now looking for ways to pay for it.
When I have this on, I don't have to have the oil furnace on.
As for Kay Handrahan, she says she'll keep burning coal.
It's going to last me good while, yeah.
But increasingly, with the climate at risk, many say this province can't afford not to kick the coal habit once and for all. Tom Murphy, CBC News, Halifax.
Alberta has long been known for its fossil fuels. Less well known is the province's excellent renewable energy potential. It is now home to Canada's largest solar project. Carolyn Dunn shows us the potential of 13 square kilometers of Alberta's sunbelt covered with solar panels.
There's no time to waste in the construction of the Traverse Solar Project, just east of the reservoir of the same name. Workers are installing about 3,000 solar panels a day, and it'll only get busier. When complete, the largest solar project in Canada will be made up of 1.3 million panels, turning energy from the sun into electricity.
Emotional, actually, to see an idea that we conceived, almost 5 years ago, now turn into reality.
The project is spread out over 3,300 acres. That's about the size of 1,600 CFL football fields. It'll be capable of creating enough electricity to power the equivalent of 150,000 homes. Online retailer Amazon has already agreed to purchase all the electricity created here. This kind of development is a boon to an area hit hard by a downturn in fossil fuels. In Vulcan County, failed oil and gas companies have walked away from millions owed in tax bills, $2,000 worth for every single resident.
It is quite substantial.
So it's welcome that taxes from harnessing the energy from the sun will help fill the county coffers again.
It's investment, it's development, it's jobs. So I mean, hey, we'll take it.
There are well over 800 jobs during the construction phase, though it will only take about 10 people to run the completed solar farm.
I know what it takes.
Devin Bearhat has taken a break from earning his construction management degree to make some money now and gain experience.
I'm just kind of excited, I would say. Just like kind of, something that's going to be under my belt for the rest of my life.
Expect more solar projects in southern Alberta, which boasts 320 sunny days each year. The technology on the Traverse project will make the most of every minute of it.
In the morning, the panels will face towards the east, and as the sun rises and slowly moves across the sky during the day, it'll track the sun as it's going across the sky all day long.
The panels not only move with the sun, they're double-sided, so the backs of the panels will also capture sun rays reflected off the snow, harvesting the sun year-round.
For this to be done in Alberta, the heart of oil country, I think this is really fantastic.
Changing the province's actual and economic landscape. Carolyn Dunn, CBC News, Vulcan County, Alberta.
Well, next on The National, a family torn apart, reunited decades later.
Did you ever imagine it would be like this?
This is something I never could have imagined.
One brother's determination and the worldwide effort to find his brothers. Plus,
did you know that this is the signal for help?
Well, thankfully, one Kentucky driver did, and he helped save a girl's life when he saw that signal. The story a little later in the show. For many, the pandemic has brought long stretches of isolation and separations, but this next story is a little different.
yeah, it's how one Canadian used the time to connect with siblings across the globe, a family he never even knew existed. Janelle Amasa now on 6 brothers and their incredible story of lost and found.
I just always wondered what else is out there for me. And then I got the message. He was just like, I think you are my brother.
He was adopted as an infant. And one day, Michel Prentice got a message that changed his life, bringing a family and brothers he never even knew he had.
He was sending me photos of myself, asking if this is you. And at first, I was very reclusive. I was like, yo.
I had nothing to go on except for a first name. I had a first name and then this picture.
A reunion 30 years in the making, spanning 5 countries and 3 languages.
I'm a fine artist, so I create art as well as I teach art.
30-year-old Michel has called Toronto home for the last 10 years. But he grew up here, in Flesherton, Ontario, a tiny town of less than 600 people.
There was a lot of community in the small town that I grew up with, and everybody knows everybody. That's just kind of how the countryside is.
Was it difficult being a black kid growing up in a city that I assume doesn't have too many people who look like you?
So yeah, my brother and I, we found it hard. It was tough fitting in and sometimes downright nasty. This is in Haiti? Yep.
Michel and his brother Jordan share much more than the experience of growing up black in a small town.
That you were at the orphanage with your house mothers.
They were both adopted from Haiti at a young age.
Michelle is about 5 weeks and Jordan is 14 months.
But they aren't biologically related. And Michel knew little about the family who'd given him up, left only with this picture of his father and the sad story of his birth.
I remember when my parents had told me that the orphanage had let them know that my mother had passed away giving birth to me, and I always felt a little empty. It was tough. I tried to draw a picture of her, and I just couldn't do it.
For years, this was the only family Michel had ever known. But that all changed in March of 2020.
I knew it was him because his facial features are very similar to mine.
Eloy Ferguson had spent the last 15 years looking for his baby brother. He lived almost a parallel life as him, growing up with white parents and adopted siblings in small-town Maine. Then a chance encounter led to something remarkable.
My dad, he knew a Haitian man who traveled from Haiti into the U.S. My dad gave him some information about me, my last name. Next thing you know, my cousins emailed my father, and my dad told me that I had family, and we connected. And
They didn't just connect. They told Eloy news he wasn't prepared for, that he was one of 6 brothers.
And I was overwhelmed with emotion. I was speechless.
Their story begins in Tomazo, Haiti, about an hour outside the capital city. Mariana and Andre were struggling to take care of their 6 boys. It turns out their mother hadn't died giving birth to Michelle, but her mental health was deteriorating quickly, and she was sent to a care facility. Left on his own, Andre was just too poor to care for the boys and had no choice but to split them up. Eloy, Michelle, and Ishmael were adopted by North American families. Too old for the orphanage, Joseph and Etienne were sent to live with relatives in Haiti. And just 7 years old, Ezekiel was sent to work on a farm in the Dominican Republic.
Once I found that out, it was my sole mission to seek out these other siblings and to find them any way possible, because we had very minimal information. We didn't have much at all to go with.
But one by one, he did find them. Joseph in Florida, Etienne in Chile, Ezekiel in Brazil. Another 6 years would pass before an ancestry DNA test led him to Ishmael. He now goes by Josh. But Michelle was still nowhere to be found until one of the brothers found a clue.
Joseph had found another picture of Michelle, and this actually had a last name on it. Once I found that information, I immediately went on Google and just Googled his name.
It was a lot going on. It was so much to process, but I knew that I had to meet them all and see what they look like, and I just was hungry to just see their experience.
There you are.
There we go.
Hey.
But the pandemic put the brakes on any in-person meeting, forcing the brothers to connect the only way they could. We joined in on a virtual call.
This is pretty crazy, just seeing everybody here and being able to do this.
Together, they're learning more about the very different lives they've lived.
I was in Poland-Belarus too, living with my auntie.
And the older brothers who never forgot the little ones who went away.
Estoy buscando todo lado mi hermanos. Fui al hospital donde se va mi papá para saber la noticia de mi hermanos.
Years ago, the 3 older brothers reconnected with their father, who so desperately wanted to find his 3 long-lost sons.
Todos los días mi papá se llorando, nosotros se llorando también, pero es difícil para mí de soportarte de eso, porque no sabe dónde ellos.
Sadly, their father didn't live to see this reunion.
Él murió en mi brazo en el hospital. Él apretó mi brazo.
So much loss. But there is hope too, and comfort for Michel knowing his biological mother is alive.
Like I felt at peace. I felt like this is so gratifying.
When you thought about one day maybe being connected with your family, did you ever imagine it would be like this?
No, this is something I never could have imagined.
It's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder. It feels like now we can start our relationship.
Michel can't wait to one day meet his brothers in person. Until then, they have a lifetime of catching up to do. Janelle Amasa, CBC News, Toronto.
Next on The National, a driver comes to the rescue of a girl who gave a secret symbol.
We felt like we saved the young girl's life.
The sign of distress and how the driver knew what to look for. Plus,
this is where I keep my ball.
But it's not just any ball. How one man got a hold of a historic game ball. Stay with us.
I'm Angela Starrett in for Jamie Poisson. Tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner. Less than 10 months into his presidency, Joe Biden and his party are struggling. A look at the Democrats' woes and what they could mean for the midterms. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. A missing U.S. teen is safe tonight thanks to a discreet distress signal and an attentive member of the public. Ellen Morrow details this incredible rescue and the push to spread this Made in Canada gesture around the world.
Stop scrolling. Did you know that this is the signal for help?
A simple gesture viral on social media platform TikTok.
Open hand, thumb across your palm, and close your four fingers into a fist.
Now being credited for a remarkable rescue in Kentucky.
He observed a young girl in a passenger car that seemed to be in distress and was giving the TikTok signal that she needed help. We didn't know what that meant.
61-year-old James Herbert Brick charged with unlawfully imprisoning a 16-year-old girl. She was reported missing by her parents last week, but wasn't found until 2 days later in a different state when a passing driver noticed she was giving that signal for help and called 911.
We felt like we saved the young girl's life.
What did you think when you found out that it was a hand signal created here in Canada that helped rescue this girl there in your county?
I think it's wonderful because obviously had this not happened as it did, then that vehicle would have traveled right on through our county and no telling where it would have wound up at.
Can you share that banana bread recipe?
The Canadian Women's Foundation developed the sign as a silent alert for women stuck at home with their abusers.
I know your mom is a great baker, so I should be good.
A sign, really important for people to know, but it's much more important, I think, for those of us around people who are experiencing abuse to know how to respond to it and proactively recognize it.
The effort was spurred by the pandemic-fueled increase in domestic violence.
No wonder that when people saw this, they said, let me share this, let me be a part of this conversation. Because it is something that we're facing every single day.
That harsh reality fueled the signal spread. Its positive impact after this unlikely Kentucky rescue now clear. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Toronto.
Canada's most prestigious literary award was handed out tonight in Toronto.
The winner of the 2021 Scotiabank Giller Prize is Omar Akkad.
The Egyptian-Canadian author reacting to his big win for the novel What Strange Paradise, which tells the story of two children caught in the global refugee crisis. On stage, he thanked his mom.
I was talking to my mom earlier. The last time she was in a room watching me win an award was 31 years ago, which is distressing by anyone's standards. Mom, this is yours. Everything's yours.
Omar Akkad beat out 4 other extraordinary writers. Along with the honor, he receives $100,000. It was way back in 1985 when the Canadian men's soccer team last qualified for the FIFA World Cup in its match against Honduras.
Randy Samuel heading it for Takers. Takers clearing up the middle to Ken Garraway. Garraway to David Norman.
And now, with the team so close to qualifying this year, a Newfoundland man is sending a piece of the game's history back to the team 36 years later. That's next in our moment.
Corner kick. Swings it in, near post, headed away, and it's in! It's in! Canada has got in front 2-1!
That's some pretty grainy footage because this was the last time the Canadian men qualified for the World Cup in soccer. That was 36 years ago. And one Newfoundland man has been holding on to a game ball from that game for decades. With renewed hopes for another World Cup run, he is sending the ball back, wanting to inspire the Canadian team. And tonight, he's our moment.
All right, so here we are up my shed now, and this is where I keep my ball. This ball is like a one and only. The first and only time they ever made it to the Worlds. Obviously, there's a buzz again this year about the World Cup because Canada is that close to getting back there after 36 years. It's an official Adidas ball. I contacted Mike Morrow from Canadian Soccer Association. If it's an authentic ball, it'll end up in the Canadian Soccer Hall of Fame. 36 years ago, myself and a few friends of mine got ready and went down to the soccer game at King George V between Canada and Honduras.
Crab Leach with a chance.
During that game, the ball was kicked over the stands, And at that time, I scurried underneath the stands, crossed over Rennie's River, retrieved the ball, came back to the game. If we can get this ball in the hands of the team and they can pass it around and use it as inspiration to take them to the next level, that's what I'm looking for.
They need all the help they can get. Good for you. So the story is, I know the ball is being wrapped up and it's been in a case, but truth be told, for the first 20 years, the kids just knocked it about a bit, which is really what you should be doing.
Yeah, no, I love that side of the story. I also love how it just never crossed his mind to profit off of this ball, right? He's never tried to sell it. He just thought straight away he wanted to donate it to the Canadian Hall of Fame, and that's what he's doing. That's The National for this November 8th. Have a great night.
Good night.